Welcome to the Yugioh Dueling Corner. Today I'm doing a deck profile on my Jinzo Returner deck. So let's get started. I run one BLS in the deck. For light targets I have the 2 Effect Failures and the 3 Cyber Dragons. And for dark targets I have the Gores, the 3 Jinzos, and the 3 Jinzo Returners. You can also have more targets with your extra deck. I run one Gores in the deck. I only run 2 back rows, the 2 Ultimate Offerings, because I'm running the Jinzos. So it's typically not a conflict to special summon him. And you can just pass the turn, they attack, you can drop the Gores, and if they pass, you can activate your Future Fusion and just go for game, since you'll special summon the 3 Jinzos when sending the 3 Jinzo Returners. Then I have the 2 Effect Bearers. This is pretty much to stop whatever my opponent is doing, and it's also a tuner, so it can be useful. I have the 3 Cyber Dragons. It's good for the Future Fusion and the Overload Fusion, so you can target Chimera Tech Over Dragon. Plus it's also just a big beat stick. It's 2100. You can special summon him. You can even special summon him and then sack for Jinzo. Or if they have a machine type monster on the field, you can just contact and go into Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Then I run 3 Jinzos. You can sack the Cyber Dragon or maybe even a Fortress, and you can stop it, any type of back rows they might have. Especially if you summon him before they have the warnings or ultimate before they have their Psalm warnings or their Psalm judgments, and it pretty much can just shut down your opponent. And it's also for the OTK of the deck with the Future Fusion. Then I run the 3 Jinzo Returners. Again, send them to the graveyard with Future Fusion and special summon your 3 Jinzos. The only thing with Jinzo Returner is if you pitch him with 4 Machina, to special summon the Machina, he'll miss the timing, so Jinzo won't be special summoned, so just be careful about that if you're trying to run the deck. Then I run 3 Machina Fortress. Big beat stick that has, just good effects. If he's destroyed by battle, you can choose 1 card on the field, and you can destroy it. And if he's targeted by a monster effect, you can look at their hand and pick a card from the hand to the graveyard. So he's pretty good to get over anything that's stronger. And then 3 Machina Gear Frames. Searches the Machina Fortress out when he's summoned. Plus it's the 1800 beat stick, and you can use his union effects to protect Fortress. Then I run 2 of every gadget. I found 3 to maybe just be too hard to fit into this type of deck since you're running the Jinzo Returners. This helps you keep constant kind of hand advantage, and there are good targets to pitch for the Machina Fortress. And for the last monster, I run 1 Neospatian Grand Mole. Pretty good in combination with Ultimate Offering. You can summon him, bounce a monster, activate Ultimate Offering, keep paying, and just completely bounce your field and wipe it clean. And it's also, it can just really put your opponent in a bind, and it can kind of just screw them over if you have the constant Grand Mole in your hand. Now for the first and main OTK of the deck, you have the Future Fusion. Send your 3 Jinzo Returners, at least 1 Cyber Dragon, the 3 Jinzos and Machinas, so you can special summon them if necessary. And the 3 Jinzos will be special summoned, and you can go for a game as long as you have 1 other monster. The only thing is when you do, if that tends to fail and Chimera Tech Over Dragon comes out, the field will blow up. So, you're just using this for the Jinzo Returners. 1 Limited Remover. This is also just another OTK possibility in the deck. If you special summon Cyber Dragon, and then you can either bring out Machina Fortress or any other machine, you can just activate this and typically go for game, especially if you activate a smashing or something, so you can just attack into an open field. 1 Overload Fusion, the 3rd OTK of the deck. You just target the Chimera Tech Over Dragon, and if you have enough machines in the graveyard, he'll be big enough just to go for game. 1 Monster Reborn. You can Monster Reborn your Effect Failure, and you can Synchro into something, or you can simply just Monster Reborn your Jinzo and just stop whatever back rows they have. It usually screws them up. 1 Pot of Avarice. Because you're constantly searching and always summoning, you're going to get 5 targets in the graveyard really quickly. This is going to definitely be a +1. Plus you can return whatever extra deck cards you have in your graveyard, so you can keep reusing them. 1 Dark Hole. Just clears the field. You can go clear the field after Future Fusion, go for game. just gets rid of whatever they have. It's a staple. 2 smashings. This helps get over Thunder King Ryo. Same thing with Dark Hole, because Thunder King Ryo can really kind of mess you up with the gadgets and the Machina gear frame. So you use the smashings. You can side the third one if necessary. 1 Book of Moon. It's a quick play. I found it to be a little better than the other smashing. Helps you get over things. 1 Heavy Storm. Just clear the back row, and then you can just go for game with limiter or Future Fusion or Ultimate Offering or anything else. 2 MSTs, just clear the back row and go get rid of the back row hate. And then the only 2 traps that are in the deck is Ultimate Offering. This combos really well, again, like with Grammel, or you can use it with your gadgets. Summon a gadget, search a gadget, use Ultimate Offering, summon the other gadget, keep searching and keep doing that, and you can bring out Utopias and Roach and just go for the 4th OTK in the deck that way. Now for your extra deck, I run 2 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragons. This is for, let's say they have a machine on the field, you can special summon your Cyber Dragon, Contact to get rid of their monster. Or let's say I go Future Fusion, I tried to go for game, my Cyber Dragon was already on the field, and let's say they drop a Battle Fader, you can contact your Cyber Dragon into your Jinzos to keep a big stick on the field, because your Jinzos are going to be sent to the graveyard at the end of your turn. Then I run 2 Chimera Tech Over Dragons. This is just because I only run 1 Overload Fusion. If you choose to run 2, you can put the third one in, but the first one is for Future Fusion target, and if that were to happen to be brought out, then you need the other one for an Overload target. Then I run 3 Utopias and 1 Utopia Ray. This is for your gadgets. You can exceed into them really easy, and it's especially if you have your Ultimate Offering, you can bring out Utopia, and Utopia Ray, or you can bring out your Roach and use your Utopias to protect your Roach. Then 1 Roach. This can lock down some decks. Let's say if you're reversing Lightsworn, they can't bring out their JD, or if you're reversing some Twilight or Dark deck, they can't bring out their BLS, Chaos Sorcerer, or stuff like that. So it locks down a lot of decks. 1 Illuminite. I toss this in because you can go into him with gadgets, especially with Ultimate Offering, and if you just happen to need another card in your hand or something to get around something, you can use your Illuminite to get that draw card. Then you have 1 Acid Golem. He's the only rank 3 of the deck, and that's because you typically don't go into rank 3s. The only real way is either Grammel plus Jinzo Returner or 2 Jinzo Returners. There's typically no other level 3s in the deck, unless you Monster Reborn one of their level 3s, and you can exceed into him. He's a big beat stick. 1 Brionic. I found the only real way to go into him is typically with a Monster Reborn and one of your gadgets or your Jinzo Returner, because you have to Monster Reborn one of their tuners, since you only have Effect Veiler in the deck. But he's a staple, so he's needed. 1 Hyper Librarian and 1 Catastrophe for level 5s, because you have Effect Veiler and a gadget, so it's pretty easy to go into level 5. And 1 Armory Arm, in case you have Jinzo Returner on the field and your Effect Veiler, so you go on the Armory Arm. So that's it for the deck. I'm not going to show the side deck. You can side whatever you feel is necessary. You can side an extra MST in the deck, inside deck, or side an extra Smashing Ground in case you have issues with back row hate or the Thunder Kings. So that's it for this deck profile. So please comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a good day.